A Ferrari 1-2 then at the European Grand Prix. First, Rubens Barrichello, only his second victory in 154 races, followed by Michael Schumacher, world champion and heading for another title. Kimi Räikkönen up there on the podium, as he was in Australia in third place. Ralf Schumacher, fourth. Jenson Button, what an excellent drive Jenson had to get a couple of points in fifth place. And Felipe Massa making his point for Sauber. Led to believe that Ross Brawn of Ferrari is going to join us. And Ross, if you can hear me, very well done indeed.
Thank you, Jim. That was a super day.
We saw you munching on a banana there. Was that helping your thought processes a little bit down there?
It was a bit. It was only a 2-banana race, this one. Sometimes it's a 3-banana race, but I managed on 2 this time.
Well, you might have been on a slightly slippery slope if you'd have done what you did in Austria. Just explain to us why you acted differently here.
Well, things have moved on quite a lot since then. I mean, we live and learn as well. I mean, life is a learning process. We did learn a lot of things from Austria, and we don't deny there were some things that we wish we'd handled differently. And today we had a chance to show that we are human and we learn from our experiences. Plus, the championship had moved on a little bit, we all felt it was a little less critical today.
Was it a factor in your decision-making that Michael did actually make a mistake in the race and Rubens didn't?
Yes, and what we did today is both drivers up until the last pit stop were allowed to race. Obviously after the last pit stop, when the positions were sorted, we asked both drivers then to look after the cars and for Rubens to dictate the pace at the end. So, but they had a free rein up until the second pit stop, and obviously Michael got caught out somehow, and that really spoiled his race for him.
And what exactly did you say to them, and when exactly did you say it to them?
Well, it had been agreed before the race, so they knew the situation. So there was very little discussion about that topic. I mean, the only thing on the last lap I asked Rubens, he needed to do something for me, and there was a long pause, and I said, please win the race. I think he got a bit anxious for a few seconds, but just a little bit of fun at the end.
And you must have felt a little bit of emotion as well, seeing how Rubens reacted to only the second win of his career.
Yes, no, it is. It's very nice to see, and it's been a super weekend, super day. We went for the hard race tyre, which hurt us a little bit in qualifying, but you saw today was a fantastic tyre in the race. So when you make those decisions, you sometimes wonder if you've made the right call. But it came very good in the race.
And you were over a second a lap quicker here, Ross, and I understand you've got an even better motor around the corner.
Yes, I mean, we had a new bodywork package, new front wing here. We're pushing as hard as we can. Works started on the new car now. We're devoting most of our resource to that. So there's a few other bits and pieces coming through on this car for the rest of the season. But the engine's a development next year, so anything we do on the engine this year will go straight into next year's engine. So we're continuing to push very hard on the engine and learn as much as we can this year.
Just finally, Ross, we always appreciate you joining us at this stage of the race to give us an insight into what happened. Could you just throw things forward to us a couple of days? What are your feelings about what might happen to you and your team on Wednesday? It's
impossible to predict, and it's something we really don't want to speculate on. We don't want to speculate because things we say may be misconstrued or taken as fact for the case. And I hope they just look at it in a reasonable way. And what went on in the race was unpopular, but it wasn't illegal. And of course we had some problems on the rostrum, which we wish we hadn't had, and the drivers wish they hadn't had, but they were overcome by the emotions of the event. And I hope it's all looked on with balance.
Thanks for your time, Ross.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent job then by Ross Brawn, Ferrari, Rubens Barrichello and Michael Schumacher, and we hope to have a word with the top three when you rejoin us. Straight to the press conference to hear from the top three: Kimi Räikkönen, Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello.
Second then.
Spot on, Michael. Let's have a look at the start of the race, shall we, Tony? And those flying Ferraris, a brilliant first lap, as James said.
Well, Rubens Barrichello, he was the star of the race, the star of the start, but Coulthard for me was also star because he toughed it out there. You look at the Braveheart going down the inside, and almost they're joined together, as you'll see in a moment. And there is Ralf Schumacher, who also made a superb start, getting round the outside from the dirty side of the track on the inside. And there's the two Jordans tagging each other and spinning away at the back. That was caused by Giancarlo Fisichella. But out of all this, gap after gap, Rubens Barrichello comes through, challenges on the inside and gets through into the lead. And the loser in all this was the pole sitter, Juan Pablo Montoya. Just look at that lead from Ferrari. But this is Montoya here. He'll always resist. Even though the car's not working well, he won't give up until the last moment. And look at this, going back at each other. And the McLaren swarming all over the back of the Ferrari and the Williams. It was a great start.
Michael Schumacher spinning here meant that Ferrari allowed Rubens Barrichello to do his own thing and win the race.
I mean, it's total redemption as far as I'm concerned for Ferrari after Austria, the debacle of Austria has to be. And Michael has been a bit edgy all weekend here. We've watched him spin in practice, we've watched him spin in the warm-up as he takes it to the limit. The track has been quite green this year as the rubber's gone down. Now see, look how severe that curb is as well, but also the tarmac runoff rather than the gravel trap, which could have trapped him for good. He might not have got back onto the track. It arrests the car quite quickly. He got back on and got on with the business.
Raikkonen on the podium for McLaren. David Coulthard having a really good charge up against Juan Pablo Montoya. Not his fault he was taken out of the race.
No, but this is the factor is who is using the Michelin tyres better. Look how deep Montoya stayed on the line. He knew he was getting the bid challenge from David Coulthard. And interestingly, this year McLaren have built a slightly tougher car to try and cope with the odd bang that you'll get when you touch your other competitor. But you can't cope with that when you take a real bash in the right front like that and break the steering. So it was a great shame, I thought, for David Coulthard. He was driving a great race.
Absolutely. Louise Goodman spoke to both of them when they got back to the pits about that little incident.
Juan Pablo blamed that accident on his tyres, but whatever the reason, you must be spitting.
Oh, well, just about it wasn't the tooth fairy, really, that gave him a problem. But, yeah, he clearly had problems with his tyres. And, I knew it was a risk to go around the outside. Congratulations.
No points for either of us. Yeah, I gave you space. You know, my car's fun. It's fun. I know that. You hit me.
Yeah, I know
you
that.
think I don't know that? Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that, said Juan Pablo. ITV F1 website, a live chat, Hervé Anderson, 1 o'clock on Thursday. Next, it's race 10 of the season. Always a standout weekend for us. The British at Silverstone.
Go, go, go! Hakkinen goes for it. Hakkinen takes the lead. Mika Hakkinen wins the British Grand Prix.
And we give you the full service here on ITV1 around the British Grand Prix weekend. The qualifying live from 12:30 on the Saturday. The race live, big pre-race show starting at noon on the Sunday, and the highlights at 11:45. Highlights of the European Grand Prix tonight, when you can hear from Jenson Button and from Alan McNish as well. The highlights of the European Grand Prix. It's been an excellent race at 12:15 tonight. There we are then. Rubens Barrichello winning the European Grand Prix in Michael Schumacher's backyard as well. This has been a Brazilian sporting triumph that we're all very happy about. Bye-bye.